Malaysia is a Southeast Asian nation for its multicultural population and linguistic diversity. Comprising Peninsular, Malaysia and East Malaysia on the island of Borneo, the country is home to three major ethnic groups: Malays, Chinese, and Indians, as well as various indigenous communities, each contributing to Malaysia's rich linguistic heritage. Malaysia's complex colonial history under Portuguese, Dutch, and British rule also left a significant impact on its linguistic development. Today, Malaysia embraces multilingualism as a norm, with language functioning across personal, cultural, governmental, and educational domains. The linguistic landscape of Malaysia refers to the visible and audible display of languages in public spaces, including roads, billboards, advertisements, government notices, shop signs, and even interactions in marketplaces or public transportations. It provides insight into the power relation, cultural identities, and social hierarchies within Malaysian society. Public signage in Malaysia often features Malay, alongside English and sometimes Mandarin or Tamil, reflecting the ethnic and linguistic popularity of the population. The coexistence of multiple languages in Malaysia reflects social cohesion, but also reveals underlying power structures. Bahasa Malaysia often symbolizes national unity, while English may represent modernity and upward mobility. Code switching and code mixing are common in daily communication, especially among urban youths and bilingual speakers. Arabic is visible in Islamic contexts such as mosques and religious schools, contributing another layer to the linguistic mix. Cultural festivals and religious celebrations are often advertised in multiple languages to cater different ethnic groups.
Pre-independence. English as the dominant language before 1957, Malaysia, then Malaya, was under British colonial rule. During this time, English was the main language used in administration, education, and official matters, especially among the elite and in urban areas. Post-independence in 1957, Malay as national language. After gaining independence in 1957, Malaysia aimed to build a strong national identity. Malay, or the Bahasa Malaysia, was promoted as the national language to unite the diverse population and reduce reliance on colonial language. National Language Act, 1967. Malay as the official language. The National Language Act of 1967 made Malay the official language for government, education, and public communication. This law formalized the role of Malay in the nation's identity and administration, though English remained important in certain fields like business and international relations. So Bahasa Malaysia is the main language of instruction in national schools. It promotes national unity and is used in most subjects and official school activities. English. English is taught as a second language across schools. It was previously emphasized in science and math through the PPSMI policy, or the teaching and learning of science and mathematics in English. But this policy was partially reversed to balance language mastery with national identity. Mother tongue education. Malaysia supports Chinese and Tamil vernacular schools where students learn in their mother tongues. This helps preserve cultural heritage and ensures inclusivity for major ethnic groups. The national language policy of Malaysia was established to promote unity and a shared national identity in a country made up of diverse ethnic groups including Malays, Chinese, Indians, and various indigenous communities. Under this policy, Bahasa Malaysia is designated as the official language and is used in government, education, and formal communication. The idea behind this policy is to create a common language that all Malaysians can understand and use regardless of their ethnic background. Using Bahasa Malaysia in schools, media, and official function, the government aims to develop mutual understanding and cooperation among citizens, encouraging them to think and act as part of one nation. So this policy does not intend to erase other languages or cultures, but seeks to provide a unifying platforms for communication and national cohesion. The bilingual education policy, Malaysia's bilingual education policy reflects a balanced approach to language learning in schools. While Bahasa Malaysia is taught and used as the main language of instruction, English is also given importance, especially in subjects like science and mathematics. This policy recognizes the value of English as a global language that opens doors to international communication, higher education, and job opportunities. At the same time, it ensures that students maintain their connection to the national language and culture. So this bilingual approach prepares Malaysian students to be both locally grounded and globally competent. It reflects the country's historical backgrounds, where English was widely used during British colonial rule, acknowledging the practicality of English without undermining the importance of national identity. The concept of multilingual tolerance in Malaysia shows the government's commitment to cultural and inclusion and linguistic diversity. While Bahasa Malaysia is promoted as a national language, the right of ethnic communities to use and learn their own languages are respected and protected. So this is seen in an existence of vernacular schools, such as Chinese medium and Tamil medium schools, where students are educated in their mother tongues alongside national subjects. Furthermore, indigenous communities such as Orang Asli and Peninsular Malaysia and various ethnic groups in Sabah and Sarawak are encouraged to preserve and use their native languages in daily life and cultural practices. So this policy of tolerance and inclusions allow Malaysia to celebrate its multicultural heritage, helping different communities feel recognized and respected. So it promotes harmony by showing the national unity does not require cultural uniformity, but rather mutual respect and coexistence.
So, the MBMMBI policy or the Memartabatkan Bahasa Malaysia dan Memperkukuh Bahasa Inggris or in English, upholding the Malay language and strengthening the English language. So, the MBMMBI policy introduced in 2010 by the Malaysian Ministry of Education reflects the country's dual commitment to preserving its national identity while adapting to the demands of globalization. The policy stands for Memartabatkan Bahasa Malaysia dan Memperkukuh Bahasa Inggris, which translates to upholding the Malay language and strengthening the English language. So this bilingual language policy aims to strike a balance between the use of the Malay language, the Bahasa Malaysia, as the national and official language, and the English language as a global lingua franca essential for international communication, education, and economic competitiveness. So the main goals of the MBMMBI policy are to uphold Bahasa Malaysia as a symbol of unity, national unity, cultural identity, and sovereignty. It emphasizes the use of Malay in official communication, education, and public life to strengthen a shared national consciousness. Another goal is to strengthen the command of English, especially among students, to enhance their global employability, academic competitiveness, and access to knowledge in science, technology, and international affairs. The policy replaced the earlier PPSMI or the Penggajaran dan Pembelajaran Sains dan Matematik dalam Bahasa Inggris policy, which required teaching science and mathematics in English. Instead of focusing on specific subjects, MBMMBI emphasizes broader improvements in language teaching, including curriculum enhancement for both languages, increased training and professional development for language teachers, provision of teaching resources and support systems, exposure to high-quality language environments inside and outside classrooms. So, by implementing MBMMBI, Malaysia seeks to promote bilingual proficiency among its citizens, ensuring that they are rooted in national values while also equipped for global participation.
Emphasis on trilingualism, Bahasa Malaysia, English, and Mother Tongue. So this refers to promoting 3 proficiency languages, which is Bahasa Malaysia as the national language, English as an international language, and Mother Tongue such as Mandarin, Tamil, or indigenous languages to preserve cultural identity. So the goal is to ensure students can communicate effectively in multiple languages, enhancing cognitive development, cultural awareness, and future opportunities in education or employment. Next is the integration of digital platforms for language learning. So this involves using technology like apps, e-learning platforms, games, and online resources to teach and reinforce language skills. So examples of this includes Duolingo for vocabulary practice, Google Classroom for language assignments, YouTube videos, or interactive games for listening and comprehension. So this approach supports different language learning styles, allows for self-paced learning, and makes language learning more engaging and accessible. And next is a greater inclusivity for indigenous languages, which means recognizing and supporting the linguistic rights of indigenous communities by first incorporating their languages into the curriculum. Next is producing learning materials in indigenous languages and training teachers to teach or understand these languages. So the aim is to preserve endangered languages, respect cultural diversity, and ensure that indigenous students feel represented and included in the education system. So, to conclude, Malaysia's language policies reflect cultural diversity. So Malaysia supports Bahasa Malaysia, English, and Mother Tongues to respect its multicultural society and promote national unity. And then evolving to support education and development. So language policies change over time to meet the needs of education, the economy, and global competitiveness. And then lastly is the balancing identity and globalization. So Malaysia aims to preserve cultural identity through languages while also promoting English to engage with global community.